Ding bang, ding bang. Hey, my legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today to review the movie DEATHGASM. And this, I found out about this through Good Bad Flicks. And they recommend that for Netflix, but I would have found out eventually because I went on Netflix about an hour or two later, and they had them in the new releases. And this is like a heavy metal themed horror comedy with slight action in it about this one kid. It's filmed in New Zealand, by the way, and it said MPI Pictures was a part of this. I just thought MPI went out of business because, if I'm not mistaken, they were the ones that were responsible for Gorgon Video, who did like the Face of the Death movies a long time ago. And Gorgon Video went out of business. They didn't release their the video magazine. They had a second video magazine they never released, but I did see it through Rick Sullivan of Gore Gazette back in '92 or something like that. Well, anyways, this is about like this metal kid that gets sent to this one family, and this his cousin's family, and they're all like straight laced, and he's like a big heavy metal guy, and his cousin always picks on him, stuff like that. And there's a bunch of nerdy kids that always get picked on. He hooked up with, and then he meets this guy, a heavy metal guy. It's like he's considered like his mentor. At this one record place that reminded me of the Schallplatte in Ostholz, Germany, when I was in Germany. And they form a friendship, but the guy kind of backstabber. And what happened is he follows this guy, and he goes to this one metal guy's house, and he said he was drunk, living in New Zealand and stuff like that. And he went, when the guy was passed out, whole room was trashed. Him and this guy Brody, the star of the show, went in his house, and they find him holding this record, and they try to steal the record. And it turns out that there's a group of cultists that are after the record, because it has like these papers in it that has like the black mass, and some for summoning demons. Some people call it like a zombie movie, but I mean really it's a demon movie with human possession and stuff. You know, they kind of act a little bit like zombies, sort of. They remind me kind of the demons in Evil Dead, the original Sam Raimi one. I never saw the remake. And they eventually form a band, and then they call it DEATHGASM. That's the name of the band. And they play the Black Mass that summons all these demons for most of the townsfolk. And either they like throw up blood on people, or the one guy crap blood, and all this other crazy stuff. And they're fighting. They end up fighting through most of the townfolks, and then they tried to reverse what they caused. What they caused with the town becoming demons. I don't want to give it too much away. I wish the movie would have been funnier, but there was a scene where the two lead characters were fighting off two demons with sex toys. That was funny and very different and creative. I mean, at least it earned its R rating, because there is some nudity and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed the movie, but like I said, I wish it could have been a little bit better. And as far as all they had a bunch of heavy metal in it. Some of the choices I wish would have been heavier, though. Some of it would seem like middle of the road, and some of it was like black metal and stuff, which was cool. And they played some. The most notable band on the soundtrack was Emperor, the black metal band, and they had Nunslaughter on there and Pathology. And I mean, but some of the choices for music I wish were just. They kept saying brutal and brutal as fuck, so I wish they had a little more brutal music in it. But I mean, it was good heavy metal, though. I wish some of it was just heavier. That's just me. I listened to some really extreme stuff, for those that don't know. But I like DEATHGASM for what it was. Not perfect. Some people might categorize it as something like Shaun of the Dead. Not really. Shaun of the Dead was much better. And even Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse was better, I thought. But I give this a mild 7 out of 10 for DEATHGASM. Very good movie. If you get a chance to see it on Netflix, I just wish it was better. But I mean, not every movie you're going to see is a masterpiece, but it is very good and entertaining. And the nice thing it was made in New Zealand, and you don't really have to. I used the closed captioning once to find. I mean, usually you can pretty much understand what they're saying, which is really good. Oh, and another problem is, I was reading a description of the movie Cell, the Stephen King adaptation, and they said some scenes were so darkly lit you could barely tell what was going on. That's a problem I had. A lot of the scenes at night were really darkly lit, They could have made it much brighter because there was a lot of action stuff and made it easier to see, and the gore would look better, you know. Because they did that in Reanimator. Reanimator when darkly lit at all. That's the problem, because I know Heather and I were talking about it. I'm coming, AJ. So until next time, buddy. 7 out of 10 for Deathgasm. Take care, my lead.